The basement smelled like cold metal and old water. A single light swung from the ceiling, making long shadows crawl across the walls. On the floor lay a small red backpack, the kind kids use for school. Inside it was a note written in shaky pencil. The words were simple, but they cut like knives. I trusted you. That was all it said. Above the note, carved into the concrete with something sharp, were numbers and names. Dates were crossed out. Some were circled. It looked like a list. Not a list of chores. Not a list of plans. It looked like a list of people. And at the very bottom, written bigger than the rest, was one name. Emily Parker. The police stood still, afraid to move. One officer whispered, "This isn't just a murder." Another said, "This is something worse." The light flickered again. Somewhere upstairs, a door creaked open. And then, "We need to go back." Because before the basement, before the list, before the note that said, "I trusted you," there was a small town where people smiled at each other. A place where neighbors waved from porches and kids rode bikes until the streetlights came on. A place called Maple Hollow, Ohio. Maple Hollow was a kind of town where nothing bad was supposed to happen. Emily Parker grew up there. She was 12 years old. With brown hair she tied into messy ponytails and a laugh that came out like a hiccup. She loved drawing animals and giving them funny names. Her favorite was a chubby cat she called Captain Whiskers. Emily believed the world was mostly good. When people were mean, she thought it was because they were sad. Her mom, Sarah Parker, worked at the town library. She believed in kindness the way some people believe in luck. "Be kind first," she always told Emily, "even when it's hard." Her dad, Mark Parker, fixed cars at a small garage. He didn't talk much, but when he did, he meant every word. He taught Emily how to change a tire and how to look people in the eye when she spoke. Their house sat at the end of Oak Street, with a big maple tree in the yard. In fall, the leaves turned bright red and gold, and Emily would rake them into piles and jump until her shoes filled with crunching sounds. Life felt safe. A few houses down lived the Harris family. Tom Harris was quiet and polite. He waved but never smiled. He worked nights at a warehouse outside town. People said he was shy. Some said he was just tired all the time. Tom had no kids, but he noticed kids. He noticed when they walked home from school. He noticed when they played alone. He noticed who felt lonely. Maple Hollow had a small school, and everyone knew everyone. Emily's best friend was Lily Thompson, who lived across the street. Lily talked fast and dreamed big. She wanted to be a singer and practice in front of her mirror every night. One afternoon, Emily and Lily were walking home when they saw a boy sitting alone on the steps of the old community center. His name was Jacob Reed. He was new in town. His clothes were too big, and his shoes had holes. "Do you want to walk with us?" Emily asked without thinking. Jacob looked surprised. Then he nodded. That day, the three of them became friends. This is important, because kindness changes paths. Sometimes for the better, sometimes in ways we don't expect. Jacob lived with his uncle, Tom Harris. At first, nothing seemed strange. Jacob was quiet but sweet. He liked puzzles and carried a notebook where he wrote stories. He said his parents had died in a car crash. When Emily heard that, she felt a tight knot in her chest. "That's so sad," she said. Jacob shrugged. "I don't really remember them." Emily believed him. Tom Harris would sometimes watch from the porch as the kids played in the yard. He would offer them lemonade. He never joined in. He just watched. "Your uncle is nice," Lily said once. Jacob didn't answer. Weeks passed. Fall turned to winter. Snow covered Maple Hollow like a soft blanket. People put up lights and wreaths. The library held story nights. Emily helped her mom set up chairs and read to younger kids. One night, as they walked home, Emily noticed Tom Harris standing across the street, under a broken streetlight. "He's just waiting for Jacob," her mom said. But Emily felt something else. She couldn't name it. It felt like when you walk into a room and forget why you're there. Cold and wrong. At school, Jacob started acting different. He stopped smiling. He stopped writing in his notebook. Once, Emily saw dark marks on his arm. "Did you fall?" she asked. Jacob pulled his sleeve down fast. "Yeah." Emily wanted to believe him. She really did. This is another thing about kindness. Sometimes it makes us ignore warning signs. One afternoon, Emily stayed late at the library. When she came out, the sky was already dark. Her dad's car wasn't there yet. She decided to walk the short way home through the park. Halfway through, she heard footsteps behind her. Emily. She turned. It was Tom Harris. He smiled, but his eyes did not match. "I was looking for Jacob," he said. "Have you seen him?" "No," Emily said. Her heart started to beat faster. Tom nodded slowly. "If you see him, tell him to come home." Then he walked away. Emily stood there, frozen, until her dad's headlights appeared at the park gate. That night, Emily wrote in her journal. She wrote about feeling scared and not knowing why. She wrote about wanting to help Jacob. She ended with a sentence her mom always said: "Be kind first." Winter grew colder. Snow piled up high. One morning, Jacob didn't come to school. The next day, he didn't come either. Tom Harris told the school Jacob was sick. Then a week passed. Then two. Emily and Lily walked by the Harris house one afternoon. The curtains were closed. The porch light was on in the middle of the day. Emily stepped closer. She noticed something near the trash cans. Jacob's notebook. She picked it up. The pages were torn. Some words were scratched out hard, like someone was angry. On the last page, written in small letters, was a message: "Help me." Emily's hand shook. She showed Lily. "We should tell someone," Lily said. "Yes," Emily agreed. "My mom." But before they could leave, the front door opened. Tom Harris stood there. "What are you doing with that?" he asked calmly. Emily froze. I found it," she said. Tom walked closer. He took the notebook from her hands. His grip was tight. "That's private," he said. "Jacob wouldn't want you reading it." Emily felt her face burn. "Is he okay?" Tom smiled again. "Of course." The door closed. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling and listened to the house creak. She thought about Jacob's eyes, about the dark marks on his arm, about the word help. The next day, Emily told her mom everything. Sarah Parker listened carefully. She didn't interrupt. When Emily finished, her mom hugged her. "You did the right thing," she said. "We will talk to the school." The school said they would check. They said Tom Harris was a quiet man. They said not to worry. Life went on, but Emily felt like she was walking on thin ice. Then, one morning, the police cars came. They parked outside the Harris house. Officers went in and out. Neighbors stood on their lawns, whispering. Emily watched from her window. An officer came to the Parker's door. "Is Emily Parker here?" he asked. Emily's heart dropped. They asked her questions. About Jacob. About Tom. About the notebook. Emily told the truth. That afternoon, the police took Tom Harris away in handcuffs. Jacob was not with him. The town buzzed with fear and hope at the same time. People said Jacob would be found soon. People said he was probably safe. Emily wanted to believe that. Days passed. Search teams looked in the woods. Divers checked the river. Flyers went up on every pole. No Jacob. Then something else happened. Emily came home from school one day and found her front door unlocked. Inside, the house was quiet. Too quiet. On the kitchen table sat a small red backpack. Emily recognized it at once. It was Jacob's. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. A message from an unknown number appeared on the screen. "I trusted you." Upstairs, a floorboard creaked, and that was when Emily realized the real nightmare was just beginning. Emily stood in the hallway, holding her phone so tight her fingers hurt. The message still glowed on the screen. "I trusted you." Her heart beat so loud she thought whoever was upstairs could hear it. She wanted to scream for her parents, but her voice felt stuck in her chest. The house smelled normal. Soap, wood, dinner from last night, but it felt wrong, like a place she did not belong to anymore. "Mom!" Emily whispered. No answer. "Dad?" Nothing. Another creak came from upstairs. Slow, careful, like someone was trying not to be heard. Emily took one step back, then another. Her foot touched the edge of the red backpack on the table. She looked inside without meaning to. It was empty except for a folded piece of paper. Her hand shook as she opened it. Kindness can be used. Remember that. Tears filled her eyes. This wasn't just scary. It felt personal. like someone had reached inside her thoughts and twisted them. She turned and ran out the front door. Emily didn't stop running until she reached Lily's house across the street. She banged on the door so hard her knuckles hurt. Lily's mom opened it, eyes wide. "Emily, what's wrong?" Emily couldn't speak at first. Then the words came out all at once. "Someone's in my house. Jacob's backpack is there. There's a note." Lily's mom grabbed her phone and called the police. Lily wrapped a blanket around Emily's shoulders even though it wasn't cold. Within minutes, sirens filled the street. Police cars blocked Oak Street. Officers ran into the Parker house with their hands on their belts. Emily watched from Lily's window, shaking. They searched every room. Closets, under beds, the basement. Nothing. No one. The backpack and the notes were taken as evidence. The police asked Emily more questions. They asked if she recognized the number that sent the message. She didn't. That night, Emily stayed at Lily's house. She didn't sleep. Every sound made her jump. Her mind kept replaying the creak of the floorboard upstairs. The next morning, the whole town knew. People whispered at the grocery store. Parents walked their kids to school. Some looked at Emily with pity, others with fear. At school, the principal spoke over the loudspeaker. "Students, please remember to be kind to one another. If you see something that feels wrong, tell an adult." Emily sat at her desk, staring at Jacob's empty chair. Kind. That word felt heavy now. Detective Alan Brooks came to talk to Emily after school. He was tall, with tired eyes and a gentle voice. "You did the right thing," he said again, like everyone else. "We believe someone entered your home to scare you." "Why?" Emily asked. He paused. "Sometimes people want control." Emily thought of the message, of the note carved into concrete she didn't know about yet, of Jacob's words, "Help me." "Is Jacob alive?" she asked. Detective Brooks looked at her for a long moment. "We don't know," he said honestly. That night, Emily finally slept. But her dreams were full of dark rooms and lists she couldn't read. The next day, something new happened. A package arrived at the school office. No return address. Inside was a drawing. It showed 3 kids holding hands. Emily, Lily, and Jacob. But Jacob's face was crossed out with thick black lines. Written at the bottom were the words, "Kind kids make easy choices." The school went into lockdown. Police came again. Parents rushed to pick up their children. Emily felt sick. Detective Brooks came back. "We think someone is playing games," he said. "They want attention." "Tom Harris?" Emily asked. Tom Harris was still in jail. They had proof he hurt Jacob, but he refused to speak. He only smiled. "No," the detective said quietly. "This feels different." That night, Emily asked a parent a question she had never asked before. Can kindness be dangerous? Her mom sat beside her on the bed. "Kindness without care can be," she said softly. "But kindness with wisdom is strength." Emily nodded, but fear still lived in her chest. 2 days later, Lily didn't come to school. Emily texted her. No reply. At lunch, Emily's phone buzzed. "Unknown number. You didn't answer your friend." Emily's breath caught. She ran to the bathroom and locked herself in the stall. "What do you want?" she typed with shaking hands. 3 dots appeared. Then a reply. "For you to loan." Emily's phone buzzed again. A picture loaded. It was Lily's bracelet, the one with blue beads and a broken clasp. Emily dropped the phone. The school went into chaos when Emily screamed. Police searched Lily's house. They found signs of a struggle. A broken lamp. The back door open. No Lily. Maple Hollow stopped feeling like a town. It felt like a trap. News vans arrived. People from outside came to stay. The story spread fast. Missing kids, strange messages, fear everywhere. Detective Brooks gathered the parents. "We believe the person sending these messages knows the children," he said. "They are targeting kindness. Trust." Emily listened from the hallway. That night, Emily couldn't take it anymore. She opened her journal and wrote everything she remembered about Jacob, about Tom, about the messages. As she wrote, something clicked. Jacob's notebook, the torn pages, the scratch words. She remembered one thing clearly now, a name he had written over and over. Not Tom, another name, She ran to her parents. I think Jacob was afraid of someone else. Detective Brooks returned late that night. Emily told him about the name. He went very quiet. That name, he said slowly, belongs to a volunteer at the community center. Emily's stomach dropped. Someone everyone trusted. The detective left in a hurry. Hours passed. The house felt empty again. Emily sat by the window, watching police lights flash in the distance. Her phone buzzed one last time. "You are close," the message said. "Too close." Then another message came in. A photo. It showed a dark room. Concrete walls. Names carved into the floor. And in the corner of the picture, barely visible, Lily, tied to a chair, crying. Emily screamed for her parents. But before they could reach her room, the lights went out across the house. And the phone buzzed again. "Come alone." The house went dark, but Emily's fear burned bright. Her phone screen was the only light in her room. The message still sat there. "Come alone." Her mom and dad rushed in with a flashlight. "What happened?" her dad asked. Emily showed them the phone. Her mom covered her mouth. Her dad swore under his breath. "No," her mom said firmly. "We called the police." "We already are," her dad said, dialing. Emily shook her head. "They said come alone. If we don't—" Her phone buzzed again. A new message. 10 minutes. Her dad grabbed the phone. "This is not a game," he said, loud and angry, like the person could hear him through the screen. Another message came. "Anger won't save her." Emily felt small and powerless. She thought of Lily's laugh, of Jacob's quiet eyes, of kindness turning into a trap. Detective Brooks arrived fast, like he had been waiting. Police cars lined the street again. Flashing lights painted the walls red and blue. "We don't let a child walk into danger," the detective said. "We track the phone. We follow." "They'll know," Emily whispered. "They're watching." The detective looked at her. Really looked. "You're brave," he said. "But bravery also means trusting help." Emily nodded, but her hands wouldn't stop shaking. The phone buzzed again. 8 minutes. Detective Brooks made a choice. "We'll do both," he said. "You answer. You stall. We trace." Emily typed with trembling fingers. "Where?" The reply came fast. "Old community center. Basement door." Emily's heart dropped. The place where she had first met Jacob. The place everyone trusted. Police moved quietly. No sirens. No lights. They planned to surround the building. Emily rode in the back seat with Detective Brooks. Her parents followed behind, tears on their faces. The town was silent as they drove. Snow fell in soft flakes, like the world was pretending nothing was wrong. At the community center, the parking lot was empty. The building looked dark and tired. Paint peeled from the walls. The sign hung crooked. Detective Brooks turned to Emily. "You won't go in," he said gently. "You stay with me." Emily nodded. She wanted to be brave. She wanted to help. Her phone buzzed. "I see you." Emily looked up. One light turned on in a basement window. Police spread out. A team moved toward the basement door. Then Emily's phone buzzed again. Wrong move. A loud bang echoed from inside the building. A door slammed. Something crashed. "Go!" the detective shouted. Police ran in. Minutes felt like hours. Emily hugged her arms, rocking back and forth. She prayed. She didn't even know who she was praying to. Then an officer ran out. "Basement's empty," he said. "There's evidence, but no suspect. No Lily." Emily felt like she might throw up. Inside the basement, officers found marks on the floor. Names carved into concrete. Dates. The same list from the photo. At the bottom was Emily's name. Circled. Detective Brooks closed his eyes for a second. Back at the station, the mood was heavy. They questioned everyone who worked at the community center. Volunteers. Staff. Helpers. One name kept coming up. Michael Turner. He was friendly. Helpful. Always smiling. He ran kids' programs. He knew which kids were kind. Which kids were alone. "He helped me with my drawings once," Emily said softly. "He said I was special." The detective's jaw tightened. They went to Michael Turner's house. It was empty. Inside, they found children's drawings on the walls, lists and notebooks, phones with no SIM cards, and in the garage, a chair with rope marks. Still no Lily. The town broke apart after that. Parents didn't let kids out of their sight. The school closed. Fear sat on every doorstep. Emily blamed herself. If she had spoken sooner, if she hadn't trusted so easily. Her mom tried to comfort her. "This is not your fault," she said again and again. But Emily didn't believe it. One night, Emily couldn't sleep. She went to the kitchen for water. On the counter sat the mail. One envelope had no stamp. Inside was a single sheet of paper. "You are learning," it read. "Kindness with open eyes is power." Emily felt cold. She ran to her parents' room. The police came again. They searched the house again. Nothing. The messages stopped for 2 days. Then, on the third day, the phone buzzed. A video. Emily pressed play before anyone could stop her. Lily appeared on the screen. She was scared but alive. "Emily," Lily said, her voice shaking. "I'm okay. They said to tell you not to be scared." The video cut. Emily screamed and dropped the phone. Detective Brooks took it. His face was grim. "He wants you to keep hope," he said. "That's how he controls." Emily clenched her fists. "I won't let him." That night, Emily asked to see Jacob's notebook again. The police had returned it after copying every page. She read it slowly, carefully, looking past the scratches and torn edges. Then she saw it. A pattern. Jacob had written stories about puzzles, about mazes, about choices that lead to doors. One story talked about a kind door and a safe door. The kind door looked nice. It was easy to open. The safe door was hidden. Emily's heart raced. "The community center," she said suddenly. "There's another basement." Detective Brooks looked up. "What?" "There's an old storage basement," Emily said. "Below the gym. No one uses it." They moved fast. At the center, police found a hidden door behind old lockers. It led down a narrow set of stairs. The air smelled damp and old. At the bottom, they found fresh footprints. Hope surged through Emily. Then they heard a sound. A laugh. Soft. Calm. The lights went out. A voice echoed in the dark. "You chose the wrong door." And somewhere in the blackness, a chain rattled. Emily screamed as the door slammed shut behind them. Darkness swallowed everything. Emily felt the door slam behind them, and the sound echoed like a final answer. Someone screamed. It might have been her. The air was cold and wet, and it smelled like rust and mold. Her heart beat so fast it hurt. "Stay calm." Detective Brooks shouted into the dark. No one moved. A flashlight clicked on, then another. Thin beams of light cut through the black, showing narrow walls and old pipes running along the ceiling. The hidden basement was smaller than the first one, but it felt tighter, like it was closing in. Emily stood between two officers. Her hands shook. Her teeth chattered, even though she wasn't cold anymore. She was scared. Then the laugh came again. Slow. Quiet. Too close. "You see?" the voice said. "Even now, you listen." Detective Brooks raised his gun. "Michael Turner," he said firmly. "It's over." The laugh stopped. Then footsteps ran. Fast. Somewhere deeper in the basement. "Go!" Brooks shouted. The officers ran forward. Emily wanted to run too, but her legs felt heavy. She forced herself to move. They turned a corner, and the light landed on something that made Emily cry out. Another chair. This one was empty. Rope hung loose from the arms. On the floor lay a blue bracelet. Lily's bracelet. "She was here," Emily said, her voice breaking. "She was just here." An officer picked up the bracelet gently. "We're close," he said. They heard a door slam again. Farther away this time. The basement twisted like a maze. Hallways split. Some led to dead ends. Others went deeper underground. Emily remembered Jacob's stories. Mazes. Doors. Choices. "Left," she said suddenly. "He'll go left." Detective Brooks looked at her. "Why?" "He wants us to doubt ourselves," Emily said. "So he goes where we don't expect. But he also wants us to follow. Left looks wrong. That's why he'll choose it." Brooks nodded once. "Left," he ordered. They ran. The hallway opened into a wider room. Old sports equipment sat in piles. Broken chairs. Dust everywhere. In the center of the room stood Michael Turner. He clapped slowly. "Very good," he said. "You're learning fast, Emily." Emily felt sick hearing her name in his mouth. "Where's Lily?" Brooks demanded. Michael smiled. "Safe. For now." Officers moved closer, guns raised. Michael lifted his hands. "Easy," he said. "You don't want to scare her." Emily's chest tightened. "Why are you doing this?" she shouted. "Why us?" Michael tilted his head, like he was thinking. "Because you listened," he said. "Because you cared. Because you were kind." "That's not bad." Emily yelled. "Kindness is good." Michael's smile faded for a second. "Kindness is a door," he said. "Some walk through without looking." He stepped back. His foot hit a loose board. Suddenly, the floor dropped. Emily screamed as the ground fell away beneath Michael. He disappeared into darkness with a shout. "Trap!" an officer yelled. Dust filled the air. Silence followed. They rushed to the edge of the hole. It was deep, too deep to see the bottom. "He planned this," Brooks said. "He wanted to vanish." "Lily!" Emily cried. "He still has Lily." A sound came from the darkness below. Coughing. Michael's voice echoed up. "The game isn't over." Then, far away, another door slammed. Emily fell to her knees. Tears streamed down her face. "We were so close." Detective Brooks placed a hand on her shoulder. "You did amazing," he said. "This ends soon. I promise." They pulled back. The basement was sealed. Search teams came in waves. Dogs. Lights. Noise. But Michael Turner was gone. Again. The town of Maple Hollow felt broken. People didn't smile anymore. Churches filled up. So did police stations. Emily became quiet. She stopped drawing. She stopped writing. She felt empty, like something had been taken from her and never returned. One afternoon, Detective Brooks came by with news. "We found Tom Harris's full statement," he said. "He finally talked." Emily looked up. "He said Michael Turner helped him," Brooks continued. "Helped him hide what he did to Jacob. Promise him forgiveness. Promise him understanding." Emily felt a deep ache. So Jacob. "He was trapped by both of them," Brooks said softly. Emily closed her eyes. She thought of Jacob's notebook, of his puzzles, of his warning. Weeks passed. Then, one morning, Emily woke to shouting outside. Police cars. Again. Her heart sank. Detective Brooks stood in the yard when she came out. His face was serious. "We found a location," he said. "An old storm shelter outside town." Emily's breath caught. "Lily." Brooks nodded. "Alive." Emily cried with relief. "But it didn't last long. He left another message," Brooks added. "For you." Emily looked at the phone. "You learned the lesson." The message read, "Now choose." Attached was a map, 2 mark spots. Only one had a time written next to it. Emily understood right away. "Is making me choose," she whispered. "Like the doors." Brooks shook his head. "No, he's trying to break you." Emily stood taller. Her fear was still there, but something else had grown beside it. Strength. "I won't play his game," she said. "But I can still save Lily." "How?" Brooks asked. Emily took a deep breath. "By not being alone anymore." They planned carefully. Police surrounded both locations. Quiet. Patient. At the storm shelter, they found Lily. She was weak, scared, but alive. Emily hugged her so tight it hurt. But Michael Turner was not there. That night, the town celebrated Lily's return. But Emily didn't feel happy. She felt watched. She went to bed early. At midnight, her phone buzzed. One final message. "You chose well," it said. "Now see the cost." A video started playing. It showed the old garage basement. The list. New names carved into the floor. And at the bottom, freshly written, "Emily Parker." Circled twice. Then the camera turned. Michael Turner smiled into the lens. "Chapter 4 ends here," he said softly, and the screen went black. Emily woke up screaming. Her mom ran into the room and held her tight. Emily's whole body shook. The image from the video burned in her mind. The list, her name, circled twice. "It's okay," her mom whispered. "You're safe." But Emily knew something had changed. Michael Turner was not running anymore. He was planning. The next morning, Detective Brooks came early. His face looked older, heavier. "He wants control," he said. "Fear is his fuel." Emily sat at the table, wrapped in a blanket. Lily sat beside her, holding her hand. Lily hadn't said much since she came back. Her eyes looked far away. "He said Chapter 4 ends here," Emily said quietly. "That means there's more." Brooks nodded. "Yes." The police moved Emily and Lily to a safe house outside town. Guards stayed outside day and night. Cameras watched every door. Still, Emily felt watched. She tried to distract herself by helping Lily. They colored together. They watched cartoons. They talked about normal things, like school and pets. But at night, Lily cried. One night, Lily finally spoke. "He talked all the time," Lily whispered, "about choices, about good kids and bad adults. He said kindness was a weakness." Emily squeezed her hand. "He's wrong." Lily nodded, but tears fell anyway. "He said you would understand him." Emily felt sick. "I don't." "But he thinks you do," Lily said. That scared Emily more than anything. Days passed. No messages. No videos. Then the town sirens went off. A fire. An abandoned house near the edge of Maple Hollow burned to the ground. Inside, firefighters found something carved into a wall that somehow survived the flames. A list. More names. Kids. Emily watched the news report from the safe house. Her chest felt tight. "He's getting louder," Brooks said. "He wants attention." Emily shook her head. "No, he wants me." That night, Emily couldn't sleep. She sat by the window, watching the guards pace back and forth. Her phone buzzed. Even though the police had given her a new phone, this one buzzed anyway. "Unknown number. You're hiding," the message read. Emily's hand shook. She didn't reply. Another message came. "Kindness without courage is silence." Emily stayed at the words. Then she stood up. She walked to Detective Brooks' room and knocked. "I know how to stop him," she said. Brooks looked surprised. "Tell me." "He wants me to act," Emily said. "He wants me to choose. So I will, but not his way." They talked for hours. Plans were made. Risks were named. Rules were set. Emily was scared, but she was also tired of being afraid. The next morning, a message appeared on every news channel, every social media page in town. Emily Parker, speaking calmly, looking straight at the camera. "I know you are watching," she said. "I know you think kindness is weak. You are wrong. Kindness is choosing to protect others, even when you are scared." Detective Brooks stood just off camera. Emily continued. "You want me to play your game. I won't, but I will meet you where it started." The video ended. The community center. Police surrounded the building before the sun set. Streets were blocked. Snipers watched from rooftops. Emily arrived wearing a small microphone and a jacket too big for her. Her parents cried as they hugged her goodbye. "You are brave," her mom said. "No," Emily said softly. "I'm kind and careful." Inside the community center, the lights flickered on one by one. The place felt empty and cold. Emily walked to the gym. "Hello," she called. Slow clapping echoed. Michael Turner stepped out from the shadows. "You learn so well," he said. "I knew you would." "You hurt people," Emily said. "That's not learning. That's broken." Michael smiled. "Everyone is broken." Police listened through Emily's MIC officers crept closer. Michael walked in a circle around her. "You could have been special," he said. "You still can." "I already am," Emily replied, "because I care." Michael laughed. "Care gets people hurt." "No," Emily said. "You do." For a moment, his smile slipped. Then alarms blared. Police rushed in. Michael ran. He smashed a window and disappeared into the night. Again, Emily collapsed into Detective Brooks' arms. "I'm sorry," she cried. "I couldn't stop him." Brooks held her. "You did," he said. "Just not yet." That night, Michael made his biggest move. He broke into the town power station. The lights went out across Maple Hollow. In the dark, sirens screamed. A final video appeared online. Michael stood in front of the list. "This town chose kindness," he said. "Now it will learn cost." Behind him, a timer began to count down, and carved into the wall behind him was a new name, Lily Thompson. The timer reached 1 minute. Emily screamed as the screen went black, and the town plunged into silence. The power was still out when the timer hit 0. For one long second, nothing happened. Then the town screamed. Sirens wailed from every direction. Backup generators kicked in at the hospital. Police radio crackled with overlapping voices. People ran into the streets in panic, holding phones that showed only black screens. Emily stood frozen in the safe house, staring at the dark television. "Lily," she whispered. Detective Brooks was already moving. "All units." He shouted into his radio, "We assume this is a diversion. Priority is Lily Thompson. Lock down all exits in Maple Hollow." Emily grabbed his arm. "He said cost," she said. "That means he wants us to rush. He wants mistakes." Brooks looked at her, then nodded. "You're right." The room fell quiet except for radios and heavy breathing. "Think," Brooks said. "If you were him, where would you go?" Emily closed her eyes. She saw the list, the doors, the community center, the storm shelter, the power station, places everyone knew, places everyone trusted. Then she remembered something small, something easy to forget. Jacob's first story. He had written about a place no one noticed because it was too normal. Emily's eyes snapped open. "The library." Brooks stared at her. "Why?" "My mom works there," Emily said. "It's quiet, safe, kind. He'd love that." They moved fast. Police cars rolled through dark streets with headlights off. The library stood at the edge of town, its big windows black and empty. Inside, emergency lights glowed faint red. Emily's heart pounded as they entered. "Mom," she whispered. No answer. They moved through rows of books. Shadows stretched tall between shelves. Then they heard it, crying. Emily ran. Behind the children's reading corner, tied but alive, was Lily. Emily dropped to her knees and hugged her as officers cut the ropes. "I knew you'd come," Lily sobbed. "You're safe," Emily said. "You're safe." A slow clap echoed through the room. Michael Turner stepped out from behind a shelf. "You chose well," he said. "Again." Officers raised their weapons. Michael smiled. "Easy. She's free. I kept my word." "You don't get credit for that," Brooks said. Michael's eyes locked onto Emily. "She does," he said. "She learned." Emily stood up, shaking but steady. "No," she said. "I didn't learn your lesson. You learned mine." Michael frowned. Emily spoke louder. "Kindness isn't a trap. It's a test. And you failed." For the first time, Michael looked angry. He reached into his jacket. "Don't!" Brooks shouted. Michael pulled out a phone and threw it to the ground. The screen cracked. On it was a list. Every name crossed out. Except one. His own. Before anyone could move, Michael turned and ran deeper into the library. Police chased him through aisles and offices, down a narrow stairwell into the archive basement. The place smelled like dust and old paper. Michael slipped on the steps and fell hard. He tried to stand. He couldn't. Brooks reached him first and pinned him down. "It's over," Brooks said. Michael laughed weakly. "No," he said. "Now it's quiet." Police cuffed him. Emily watched from the stairs. She didn't feel victory. She felt tired. In the weeks that followed, Maple Hollow slowly healed. Michael Turner was charged. Tom Harris was sentenced. The full truth came out about Jacob. The town mourned him together. Emily visited Jacob's grave with Lily. They left his notebook there. "He tried to warn us," Lily said. "Yes," Emily replied. "And he helped save us." Emily went back to school. It wasn't easy. Some days were heavy. Some nights were loud with memories. But she kept being kind, just wiser. One day, Emily spoke at a school assembly. "Kindness matters," she said. "But so does listening to Faye. Caring doesn't mean ignoring danger. It means protecting each other." People stewed and clapped. Emily looked out at the crowd and felt something new. Hope. If this story moved you, share it. If you believe kindness can be strong, tell someone. And if you want the next true story, say the word.